Brian Barczyk. Oh, you see what happens to Brian Barczyk? Oh, it's very sad. Yes, it is. I feel like making this video before he dies. Or maybe he died, maybe he didn't. He's in a hospice, so he's in a place where he's going to die. And he's just trying to live the rest of his life in peace. So I respect that. That's what I want for him. I said that about 9 months ago too. I said if he's going for this big fight and he's sharing it with all of us. It's the first time I watched Brian Barczyk actually in a long time. I used to watch him a long time ago, but I made a whole video about that. It'll be at the end of this video. It's basically just me talking about Brian Barczyk, what I think about him, all that stuff. Now, I don't feel like I need to do that all over again, but we can talk about some things. I think that anyone that's making a video about Brian and waiting for him to die to post it is kind of like, that doesn't make a difference. Well, maybe it does for getting money to help the family and to build the aquarium and everything.
Right? And I made a whole video, by the way. I just feel like it's not acceptable, or it just doesn't feel appropriate to release it and while he's still here.
But if you actually really care about Brian, and there's so many of us that know him, or there's so many people that say they've been touched by him, and maybe they have, but I think that there's also a lot of people that go around and like romanticize stuff. Oh my goodness, he did this and he did that and I love him so much and whatever. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to come from a place of bitterness. I'm trying to come from a place of like just reality, right? I met him once. He was nice to me. I watched his stuff. That's nice. That's kind of almost as far as it goes, so you can stop watching now. But every single reptile YouTuber is waiting for Brian to die to make a video about it so they can milk the dead Brian Barczyk cow. And I think that's kind of disgusting. And now here I am doing the same thing too, right? But it's just, to me, that's just kind of nonsense, right? Like, if you made something really beautiful about Brian, I think that you could touch him the most, or, get to him now while he's still alive and share it with him. Send him something that's touching while he can still see it. This is not that video. I'm sorry. It made me think about just a whole pile of other things that are probably, I don't know if they're nasty or true, or just let's talk about them, right? Because it makes connections within my life that have nothing to do with this. But for instance, when I cut hair for homeless people, I get hundreds of people, thousands of people sometimes. Oh my goodness, that's so nice, that's so kind. But the moment that I try to get people together, other hairdressers, to cut hair for more homeless people with me, all of a sudden it's like crickets. Nobody wants to help. No hairdressers want to come and help me cut homeless people's hair. Now, when it comes to what's happening with Brian and everyone getting money together to make the zoo better, like, that's great. Good for them. I'm happy for them. I want the family to do well. I want the zoo to do well. I want all that stuff to do well. But then when I think about what Brian has done for all of us, what's the biggest thing that he's done? He's made reptiles more popular. So the whole world now is more maybe accepting to reptiles, and a lot of that has to do with Brian Barczyk. So that's the big thing that he did. He helped people face their fears. He showed everyone how wonderful reptiles can be. But at the same time, because of that, so many more people have so many more reptiles than they really need to have. So there's that side of it too. Also, just watching all the videos, I've never really seen... Now, this is once again not against Brian, okay? Brian is one of the only reptile people that I've met that has actually been nice to me. So, but when I see him doing everything, have you seen him putting lots of money towards, I don't know, saving nature? And I don't know, I haven't seen that. When I think about that, I actually think about a podcast, Animals at Home, or Animals at Home, or Reptiles at Home, or whatever that podcast is, my fellow Canadian friend, where they actually take money and try to help the environment. And Brian taught us so much. He taught everyone how to incubate eggs. I learned how to incubate eggs from Brian Barczyk. But should everyone be able to take snakes into their homes, incubate their eggs, and have tons of snakes? Should everyone be able to have a room full of animals like this? And I'm guilty too. I don't think that we should. So there's that side of it too. So there's so many people that are now interested in animals, and that's a good thing. And I would argue that just because you know about animals and find them interesting, it doesn't mean that you want to make the wild better. Let me explain again. Homeless people. Do we all know about homeless people? Yes, everybody knows about homeless people. Now, when's the last time you helped a homeless person? So just because we all know about homeless people and are aware of them doesn't mean that we're all doing things for them. So just because now we all figured out how easy it is to breed reptiles and we have 100 of them in our house doesn't mean that that's a good thing. And I think that's not the most important message right now. Like, love to the family. Give them the money. Make the dreams come true. Almost every single YouTuber that gets bigger and bigger and more famous ends up with more and more animals and then a zoo and then sales and all that stuff. There's all that sales tied into it. And I would like that too. I'd like to become huge and have everybody want my animals too, but it's selfish, right? Like, I don't see how it isn't. I think that it would be a lot less selfish if the focus was on, teaching people more that snakes can be like cats and dogs, and not everyone has to have a zoo. Not everyone has to have a giant aquarium. Now, if this aquarium is going to save a lot of wildlife and make a great place and everything, I have nothing against that. I have nothing against any of that stuff. All this thing just kind of, I don't know, triggers me with the way that YouTube works, and that I know that I can get more views from someone dying, and that basically all the big creators know that too, and we're going to see hundreds of Brian Barczyk dead videos and how he touched their lives, and some of them are going to be true and some of them are just going to be trying to get the views. And I think I just like way too quickly. I'm so turned off by the whole, I don't know, reptile world. Because I'm the idiot that just does and says what he thinks and wants, right? I'm the guy that fed a snake with a drone and that is banned from the reptile shows because people don't like me, right? And then you hear about everyone saying, oh, be kind, be good to people, be nice to people, Other than you viewers that are like lovely, like, and my 2 members, thank you, my 2 members. That's another reason I'm like, you know what, I should start making content. I haven't made any content for a couple weeks because I just don't feel like making reptile content. I don't feel like encouraging people. Like, I don't like doing the, oh, look, this is so amazing, which turns into, you should get one. You need one too. Except for my green tree pythons. You all should get a green tree python off me eventually. It's just honest. That's how I feel about everything. Go watch my nice video. My nice video is a lot nicer. It sucks. I said in my last video, if I was Brian Barczyk, I would probably have sold a pile of stuff and spend the time with my family vacationing instead of spending the last few days, weeks, months, dying in a place. But positive note, Brian made his dreams come true, okay? Brian grabbed a camera and he did this every single day, and he didn't care about the negativity. He didn't let it get to him. He was always positive. He made videos every single bloody day, and he went at it and went at it and went at it, and he made his dreams come true, and nothing stopped him. And that is something that I do believe in. If you have a dream, go for it with all your heart. Don't listen to what we say. Don't care about what we do. Nobody can tell you that you can't do something except for you. And the moment you believe them, then you're telling them that you can't. Never let anyone stop you. If you have a dream, pursue it. And Brian did it. He did it to the end. And good for him for that. For that, he has all the respect in my heart that I can give to someone. That in that way, you can't touch him. Okay? Now go enjoy watching all the other YouTubers milk the Brian Barczyk cow. Okay?